right into some back-to-back case studies. We're going to start with Roland from Mobilosoft. Come on up. Please welcome Roland. He's going to offer a case study involving a large retail business, and let's hear what he has to say. Come on up.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. The next coming 15 to 20 minutes, I want to talk about how the internet can bring traffic to a physical store. And I have the opportunity. Is this working? Yeah, no, it's next. I already will talk about the rules that I kind of want to ask you to respect. Since 3 years, we work together with Carrefour, which is a big European retailer, also present in Asia. And the last 3 years, we work together with them to optimize their web-to-store strategy. So this is for us, and thanks Oscar to give us the opportunity to present this case. This is for us the opportunity to share with you the results of 3 years of hard work with them, and also 3 years where we really were able to bring success to them. And it's one of the few customers who's willing to share a part of the results with you. If we respect some of the small rules I want to ask you. So they ask us, we are able to present you this case. We can distribute our presentation, but you cannot distribute that on blogs and these type of things. So I hope you understand. And this will allow us also in the future to kind of present you this type of cases. So in 32 months, we kind of exploded their web-to-store traffic. And I want to explain you how we did that. So basically, what Mobilosoft is about, our passion is to use local digital marketing to build traffic to stores. And our DNA is to be found within the retail business, where since 7 years we work on services that really build traffic to physical stores, and there we help retailers to convert that and to increase their in-basket. And since 1 year now, we kind of built a second business where we help publishers and intermediates to offer the same service to their customers. This is one of the most important slides, I think, because it shows the results over a period of 3 years. This is an interesting point. The moment we started, Carrefour, having almost 800 outlets, had 2 web-to-store visits per outlet per month. Here we are at 2,000 web-to-store visits per outlet per month. So it's a very interesting graph to show the success of something which seems very logical if you see the different trends. So it's all about Google My Business. And it's why it's Google My Business? Because it's a location-driven product. Some people might say that's a free product. A single one Google My Business page is something you can have for free. How does it come that we built a revenue model around it, and a revenue model which is interesting for you to implement? There are a few things which are important. Did we do that alone? No, because there is also the trend. Since 5 years, the near-me search attitude really increased, and with mobile, near-me became very important. So we kind of used that trend to improve the results. Now the question is, and at the end of my presentation, I have a comparison between a Carrefour and a competitor. Do you follow the trend, or do you accelerate the trend? And we have chosen the path of accelerating the trend. Okay. A second one, which is also interesting and which you need to take into account, it's retail, and also your SME customers will have that. There is seasonality in play. And what we discovered with them, but every business has its own rules, is that for retail, the end of the year has boost in traffic, whereas the beginning of the year has a little drop. In general, the summer is a good period. Why do I show that? Because we try to kind of measure everything we do with them, and we try to report as much as possible to help them to build a strong web-to-store strategy. Now, it's about Google. So we work within the playground of Google, so that means that we need to respect the guidelines. And unfortunately, or luckily enough, it's how you look at it, the playground is changing regularly because they implement new rules, new guidelines. We look at this as a challenge to help our customer to kind of find a way within those rules. But at the other end, they're not perfect either. So they tend to bug too. So it's our job to detect bugs and to help our customer to find directly a way to kind of surf around those bugs. So here you see the first year, and one of the things where Google helped us is in the mid-2015, where they kind of introduced a new algorithm which helped us to boost our results. But a few months later, they didn't really help us because, again, a new update in mobile delivered their sales did impact the search results going from 7 to 3. But one of the most interesting ones is here. At the beginning of the year 2016, 400 of the outlets of Carrefour were suppressed, and nobody did, nor Google nor we did, how did that came. So we lost 400 outlets in one day. So we immediately tried to find the bug, and the bug was to be found with Google. So it's really important that you look into all the different events that are happening, and if you talk about trusted advisor, which is a word we use a lot, our role as a trusted advisor is that Carrefour can trust us to find solutions to problems that might occur. A second one in the same year is that we were using Google Maps and Google Plus to build traffic. And KPIs and reporting is very important for us. And here we again got a second setback in the same year, is that Google didn't allow any data to be downloaded or worked by us from Google Plus. So part of the reporting, which was important, disappeared from one day to another. So it's an interesting playground if you want to provide this type of service. But it can also play in a positive way. Here, the attributes that were launched in the beginning of this year really help local businesses to play around with additional info that's really useful to attract people. We already talked about the post functionality that has been launched midsummer, and that's a real leverage for businesses to promote products, services, to activate store traffic. And there is again in September a new algorithm that also helped us to boost again the business. I think that you all know the Google My Business, but it's also a product, or it's a product which is basically visualized in an online world, in a maps environment, and a mobile environment. And you really see that it's basically a product which is designed for a mobile environment, and the user experience is also the best within the mobile environment. What's the post is about? The post is this. And it's, the post is something very interesting because it's the first time that you really can promote something on a Google My Business page. And the results are exceptional. So this can help you directly build traffic to your local merchant. But if you want, you can also, via landing pages, you can build traffic to an e-shop. So it's really something multifunctional that you can use. So it's about Google. And Google created in 2004. I hope you can see it. I have not the attention to list that full list. But in 2004, they launched basically the Google Local page, which was a very, very simple page. But you see, the last 10 years, they added functionalities. But the last 2 to 3 years, with mobile becoming very important, you really see an acceleration of additional products, plugins, and abilities to get in contact with a local merchant. So this is basically becoming more and more complex. And our job is make it simple, make it transparent, and help people with conversion. And this is something important because in this environment, in this decade, and it's for us 7 years ago, we only get 1 to 2 updates a year. The last 2 years, we have every 2-3 weeks, we have little or major updates. So that makes our business and the way we work more complex. And again, we want to keep it simple for our customer. So what does that mean for us? You have 3 parties. You have the party in green, which that's Mobilosoft, and that's what we kind of tend to do. You have the blue ones, which is Carrefour, and the red one is Google. So here in January 2015, we started collecting the data, and we started claiming ownership of every single outlet. Seems easy, but knowing that on the 800 outlets that Carrefour has, 60% are franchisees that own Google My Business pages. So we needed to claim co-ownership. Once we did that, we started working on every single page, and we started adding promos on Google+. Then in January 2016, the hard work we done of half of the outlets was gone. So thanks Google, but we found the solution. And so you see that the curve is going up and up, but it's a continuous work. And that's what the customers appreciate, is that we do that work for them, and that's something you can do for your customers too. Here are 2 moments which are very important. It's not only us, it's also the customer that needs to do something. In this case, Carrefour decided to publish less promos, and you immediately saw results out. Luckily for them, we launched within the website a new store locator. So we basically were able to compensate that with other type of traffic. Here you see that the attributes, and you kind of see the curve going up. Here you have the reviews. So since half of this year, they also started working actively on the reviews. And again, it's not only about customer experience reviews, it also has a direct effect on the traffic you build. And that's very interesting to see. Then you have here the post functionality, and it's again boosting the traffic. But if you see what's happening in 2017, there is a steep increase in terms of traffic. So what does that mean? Because there is a trend in mobile search, and you can say, well, I will surf with the trend and I will get more traffic, which is true. If you look at a similar location with a competitor, you will see that in December 2016, they kind of had almost 100 visits per location, and by doing nothing, they got 207 visits per location. With Carrefour, we started here at December 2016 at 1,346 visits per location, and we went to 2,000. That's the difference of working actively on web-to-store traffic and actively working on a web-to-store strategy. What's the difference between Carrefour and its competitor? Well, it's basically using all the components of a solid web-to-store strategy, is adding data when Google asks for it. Seems simple, but it's not. Manage reviews, and there are still a lot of companies not managing reviews, and it's a real basic component of the result of your store traffic. Publish extra content when available. That might be pictures, that might be plugins. It will help to boost the traffic. And we're also very reporting driven, because we want to help them to get insights for their total business, but also for the point of sales. And also they have dedicated people that are our contact persons, and that really help us to kind of translate the message into the organization. There are for us 4 leverages that also you as a publisher can use to offer that towards your customers. is first of all, get the data right, and publish it on all types of media and platforms. Okay? That's the basic stuff. Then get them interact with local customers by posts, by managing reviews, and be able to interact in real time, because that's important, be able to react in real time with your customers. A fourth one is important. People tend to forget pictures within the Google My Business, whereas pictures are very, very important, and they also to be found within classifications, which really help people look for the business they want to have or the products they want to have. A fourth one, which we are implementing today, so you see a kind of trend. In the beginning, Carrefour had wanted to centralize everything. Now that they know a lot, we have given them insights. They want to offer the local store managers the opportunity to book campaigns themselves. So within the same platform, we're offering the opportunity to book local Facebook pages, Google AdWords, display, but also print campaigns. And basically what we try to do is then link the campaigns to, again, the Google My Business pages, so we create for them a kind of an ecosystem that they master themselves. So for us, with Mobilosoft, what's the in for you, or what is the added value for you? When I look at this type of product and the service you can offer, I think it's very important to know that this is a service that's basically free, where we can give a lot of added value. And the added value comes from you as a trusted advisor and helping your local merchant to perform better in web to store. Secondly, what we have seen is that when you do that in the correct way, the retention of your customers is very, very high. So we have a retention rate of more than 90% of our customers. In a digital world, that's almost unseen, I think. And you can do the same with your customers. One of the things which is very interesting, and that's where we try to help publishers, is an ideal product to kind of transition from print to online and from online to mobile while keeping an interesting margin. And that's a challenge that you can fulfill with this type of product. It's also an ideal acquisition product because it's simple, it's transparent, it immediately delivers results, and it's real time, so you can show it to your local merchant. The other thing is that you keep owner of the data, which is an important something within this playground. And basically what we try to do is be as flexible as possible in integrating the solutions to make it simple for you and make it an easy to implement process for your people. So this is basically what I wanted to talk to you about, and to give you and build a solid web to store strategy while using components of Google. And I know we talk a lot about AdWords, the paid solution, but this is the other end of SEO. This is theoretically a free one, but doing it right, it really delivers additional value for you as a publisher or as an intermediate. So thank you. If you have questions.
Are there any questions? Quick kind of random question. Do you ever see them stores just paying for visits, like actual, like walking in visits, just pay for like the cost per visit model?
The model is still difficult to implement today. Mm-hmm. The importance is reporting. So if you, because it's measurable. So you have two ways of reporting. There's one way where you kind of integrate all that's available, impressions, itineraries, calls, these type of things. And we created a model where you can kind of calculate the return on investment of the traffic you have built to the stores based on the in-basket of the store, based on the purchasing frequency and so on, which is basically adjusted per customer, because a bank and a retailer, they have a different in-basket in terms of purchase. But really measuring the traffic theoretically can be done, for example, with beacon technology and so on, but basically the technology is there, but nor the consumers nor the advertisers are using it today.
Okay. All right, thank you. Thank you very much. All right, Tricia, come on up. Next case study is from Mono Solutions.